Hello. This is Eminem's kart racing for the DS. This is tournament mode. I submitted to Horrible Games 6 years ago now, back when it was Horrible Games, and I played Pokemon Ultra, which was a really, really bad ROM hack. And I'm back. So, today we're doing Eminem's kart racing. I just got my best run in like 5 years, probably. So I feel it's a good day to kind of just sit and talk through this run because this is truly a horrible game. So this is Eminem's kart racing, as I said earlier. The tournament mode. So the way the speedruns go for this game is it's New Game Plus. So if I back out here, you'll be able to see that this is on a this is on a game that I have already beaten. I have all the vehicles unlocked. Yeah, I have all the vehicles unlocked. I have all the characters come with the game, but I have all the vehicles unlocked and all the tracks unlocked. Now, despite the fact that I have all the tracks unlocked, you're still supposed to do them in order, I guess, just because it feels more like you're running an actual tournament, which is nice for the feel that like you're just scrolling through a list and like it's hard to mess up. I still do, but it's not so great in the fact that there are some tracks like Chocoland I have in my splits here that are very hit or miss and rely on getting some pretty good luck. And if you don't, you just lose 10 seconds. So that sucks because it's 17 minutes or 20 minutes into the run pretty much. But anyway, it doesn't really matter because it's still a fun game to play, I guess you would call it. This is the era of just shoving brands on everything. I guess you still kind of do that now, but you don't really see like brand name games that are just this bad anymore. I am playing on an official Nintendo DS. There was a point for a while where I had a broken capture card or a broken touchscreen on my capture card DS. So I was not playing this game for quite some time, but we're back. So we do choose this vehicle right here, the, I guess, Formula One open wheel kart style one, even though there's a couple vehicles that the game thinks are better in that you unlock them later. This one has the highest top speed, and you're pretty much never slowing down once the race begins. So that's what works best for the sake of speedrunning. Time begins as soon as you hit the screen goes dark on Forest, and we're off. So Forest is an interesting oh, nice. This is a good way to explain what that was. So, this game is trying to be Mario Kart, kind of, in that you like have these items. Wow, this is a really good start. In that you get these items, but you don't really open like a mystery box. You see what the item is, and you just grab it. You just have it. So we will grab most items on like the sole basis, or solely on the basis that I am a bit loony and I think that when you despawn items, more might spawn. So it's kind of being superstitious. It's a really good wow, okay. This is a really good start. But we try to grab pretty much everything, but there's 4 things you can grab. There's those little shooter missiles, which are kind of like shells. They will just go and I want to try something here. Let's see. Okay, we hit that. Just a little jump that avoids you having to flick up into the air. You can see how bad the graphics are. Like normally with a DS capture card, you can upscale pretty nicely, and like you get some. There's Exhibit A of something I was going to be able to talk about later, but this game has some really screwy collision mechanics. As you can see, none of them hit me, even though I went right through them. And you'll notice that I'm jumping around kind of endlessly. It's weird that you can jump in a kart. I don't know if this was meant to be like they couldn't implement drifting or something, so they just had, can you jump in Mario Kart? Actually, yeah, like I should have hit that guy. But the collision physics are pretty screwy. So the other type of power-up that you can grab, there's two more that I haven't explained yet, the missile and the coffee cup is like the mushroom, and that you just get like a boost. It's probably hot cocoa. It's probably meant to be hot cocoa. But we pretty much all call it coffee for some reason, just because like when I see a cup like that, my first thought isn't hot chocolate. But it is M&M's, so it probably should be. With all that said, here's the next power-up. This is like this rainbow M&M, which kind of just makes it so that you don't collide with anything. I guess that's the best way I can explain that. You just don't collide with almost anything. You still hit like walls and stuff, and one thing on the final track, but other than that, like all the like moving enemies and stuff can't touch you. So that's very nice. This is track 2, Factory. There is a cool skip that saves like a second or two that I found that I would like to do, but it's kind of reliant on picking up a coffee cup, which is easier said than done, and yes, we haven't found one here. But if we had found one, you'd be able to... Okay, that's mean, and I missed it. You'd be able to, like, skip going around that whole loop-de-loop by just cutting through the middle. And just flying over it, because as you'll see here, I did that on purpose. Going on some, like, ramps, some upwards and downwards ramps, you'll just go flying. Like, that one doesn't seem nearly a crazy enough incline for me to be flying off of. But I did, and that's a part where I mess up pretty often, but this time I kind of just did it to prove a point, because Lord knows I'll be messing it up in the actual run. But there's one more type of power-up for me to explain in this run, and that is this right here, the packet of M&Ms. That's literally just a refuel. So you see that little gauge down in the bottom right that has... It's kind of supposed to be a speedometer, or at least that's what they call it in the rules, but I've always thought of it more as like a fuel gauge. But it kind of serves as both, because in this game, as you run out of fuel, your cart slows down. So it's kind of imperative that you stay as high on fuel as possible for this, like, just for the sake of going at top speed. So sometimes you'll see me go out of the way to grab that because, like that, yeah. Because the time that you save from grabbing the coffee, or from grabbing it and having the increased speed again is better than the time you lose by going out of your way. And it's the same thing with the cups. Like this is pretty good luck so far. That wasn't great. I will generally try to go for any cup that doesn't put me at risk of, like, hitting a wall or a character and fully losing speed. I will try as well as I can stay out of that. So that's that. So far, we're doing quite well. That was pretty slow, but it's still decent pace to be on right now. But, as we move on to City, this is one of my favorite tracks to drive on because it feels like I still haven't really unlocked... I just went back to Factory. Well, at least now I don't have to worry about, accidentally world recording in a explanation run. That, I have to say, I haven't done before, but I feel like I haven't really unlocked, like, the full potential on City, because there'll be some times when you just get really lucky and you get a lot of cups to spawn in, and I haven't really had one that I feel is, like, bogus in terms of the number of cups, where it's, like, I guess not bogus, but outrageous, where I feel like, okay, it'll be a while before I beat that. Like, I feel like this is a track that could be golded any day now. Any run now, really, because I'm doing multiple a day right now. With the hopes of dethroning a run from a long time ago. There is a 26:35 on the leaderboards that seems very fake because the video cuts out partway through and then comes back a few seconds later, which is not a good look. And the run is a 26:35, which until today, nobody had ever been really within 15 seconds of. But I know it's legit because I did it. So I've been trying to beat that run with one where I can actually like not have the video cut out for so long, because I've always kind of felt like it really looks bad on the leaderboards for the world record to have a glitch not a glitch halfway through, but the video cut out for a couple seconds halfway through. So I'm still grinding. That's what got me back into grinding, was the fact that I wanted to see if I could just prove more to myself than anything that I can do that again, and that like I didn't just get incredibly lucky, and also to clean up the incredibly sloppy video. But for now, I'm kind of just having fun playing and reminiscing through just how janky and dumb this game is. It's a horrible game. I mean, the wheels don't turn, like the wheels are just not moving right now. I guess on the DS, it's like DS video is low enough quality that they thought they could get away with that and nobody would notice. I noticed. I think I've noticed since I was a kid. I'm playing on a copy that I'm only where we are right now because someone thought it was a good idea to gift me this game as when I was a kid, and I'm incredibly grateful. But wow, does this game suck. What you'll be able to see just up ahead here, if I'm not too far ahead of the normal pace because of that cup, is, yep, that's a fellow Kart just going through the middle of the track. And that actually led me to almost discovering, very almost, a new skip, because you can actually, like, with a coffee cup, clip through like they do. They're not clipping. I don't think they actually have collision with the track. They must, but somehow they get through like that. But I found out that you could clip through, but unfortunately there was like seemingly no way for them to count your lap, to get them to count your lap. So they do have a decent checkpointing system. Like, you can't do anything outrageous on this track, at least from what I've been able to see so far. Maybe one day I'll break out the emulator and kind of go to work on trying to figure that out again, but thus far I haven't been able to find anything earth-shattering besides that little skip on the forest, on Factory, and the one that somebody else found on Forest that was just a little jump, but that one's really small. I would like to find some more stuff, though, because I find it really fun to see what you can push the limit of this game to. A lot of people may have heard of an M&M's Kart Racing. That's not this one. They simultaneously released a DS and a Wii version of M&M's Kart Racing, and this one is nothing like the Wii version. The Wii version is, like, pretty poorly received. It's considered a pretty bad game, but I invite you to look up some video of what they did with the DS game, or what they did with the Wii game compared to this. Because it truly is night and day. Like, however bad you thought the Wii version is, look at this, look at the Wii version again. Like, the Wii version outputs graphics at a decent resolution. That doesn't mean it's a good game. It still plays pretty poorly. But again, it's brand slop. They threw M&M's on a terrible game, and some people probably bought it just because they saw M&M's. I don't know where my parents bought this. I'm guessing it was my parents. Maybe this was something that was ordered off like eBay or something. But I can just not imagine this on the shelves in a Walmart. I guess it had to have been, but it's a funny thing to imagine. The Wii version has a much more active speedrunning community. There hasn't really been any serious challenge at the world record of the 26:35 since I stopped playing until I started playing again. And it was kind of like that when I was playing too. Like the world record was a couple of years old, like probably a year or two. And it took me a while to beat it. But once I did, the flood, I guess it was like kind of a confidence thing. I was 15 and I used to get annoyed at this game a lot more than I should for a game about M&Ms racing in a kart. But we're good now because kind of once the floodgates broke and I beat it once, I felt more comfortable with the game and I was able to relax and have some more fun. But that's not really what this is about. What? I mean, hey, gold split. Real chance that this would have been contending for the world record now if I hadn't made that mistake earlier. But that's life. You gotta live with selecting the wrong track by accident. This still isn't a terrible run. Like, this will still be like a mid 27, which is probably like the estimate I should probably set if this is done at around like 2640 maybe? Or sorry, 2740, because I've been getting a lot of like low 27s recently, but there's also the potential for me to play sloppy given nerves and for the game to kind of just pull, just give me no boosts for a while from the cups. So a conservative estimate would probably be 2740, 2730 probably. With that being said, this is farm. I do not like farm. This is the worst track in the game, in my opinion, because there's just so much garbage in the middle of the track in terms of those little... What are those rock guys? I've never been able to put my finger on what those are. One day I'll just park in front of them and try to figure out. Because they stand up and there's like legs under them, but I just don't get what they are. They're kind of everywhere. So this is the part that I really don't like. Ugh, yeah, I got too greedy. And then there's this sharp, like, turn where that little... I don't know what that is. Is that, like, melted chocolate or caramel or... But whatever it is, exiting that corner... Well, you'll see. I'll drive over this one. You lose, like, your ability to steer. And even that, like, once can kind of mess you up and make you take the corner in a weird fashion. There's one, like, exiting the corner, the last corner, that I kind of always have to remember to be jumping exiting the corner. Because if I don't, that will just, like, completely rob me of any chance I had of having a good lap. Because you'll just slam into the wall and then either have to turn around or hold left and just keep banging into it, or back up. I normally just, when I bang into something, kind of just like steer while I'm banged into it, because it does let you just, I mean, look at the steering. Like, the steering here is not very complicated. You can steer while you're stopped, more or less. And there's nothing the game does to prevent you from it. That's what I kind of do. As you can see, I kind of just got sent into orbit. The game likes to do that sometimes. You can just kind of be launched into orbit if you go up high and take a booster at the exact same time. It's a really good corner there. Wow. I'm very happy with that. That was a really good farm, considering I slammed into that one thing earlier. This should still be a pretty decent run, despite the fact that I selected the wrong track earlier. Now we're going to probably... That's not the right track, okay. That's not the right vehicle. Now we're going to probably my second least favorite track, Chocoland. Because Chocoland, as you'll see, is not literally a NASCAR track, because that's next up at Stadium. But designed like a NASCAR track in that it's just a straight oval. Not straight oval is an oxymoron, but it's like a standard oval. There's not much like cornering that comes into it. You know, like you don't have to take sharp corners. You don't have to turn particularly well. You literally just want to get as many cups as possible. So you'll see me go out of my way, just like ridiculously sometimes if I see a cup. If there's a cup available, I will do everything in my power to get to it, regardless of how far out of the way it seems, because the coffee cups truly make and break these runs. And this is pretty decent so far. Of course, I'm not actually attempting for the record, but whoa, that one spawned in on top of me. Okay, this is, yeah. I'd get frustrated at the game, but I feel like this is to be expected. And this is my punishment for accidentally doing that earlier on City, because there's a decent chance we'd have a shot at the world record right now. But alas, it's my own mistake, and it would be really funny if in a submission video I world recorded, because that would just be weird. That would just make me sound insane. But it's been a good lap so far, or it's been a good 2 laps so far. It's just been generally decent race I've found thus far. But this track can really go one of 2 ways. You either get all the cups, like I kind of have so far. You get good luck on the coffee cups, or the chocolate cups, or the cocoa cups, or whatever you want to call them. I don't care. And you save 5 seconds, or you get given the short end of the stick and you lose 5 or more seconds. So it's really like there's no okay Chocoland luck. You either have a great Chocoland, or a terrible Chocoland. And that was a pretty great Chocoland, if not for me having selected the wrong vehicle. Probably would have been up there with some of my better ones. But now we go to Stadium, which NASCAR fans will enjoy because, well, I guess this is kind of like a NASCAR track before they repave it and ruin it, because there's all sorts of bumps and sticky spots, and there's holes in this track, so it's kind of like, I guess, the old Daytona surface, I think it was, where pieces of the track would come off. Yeah, there's a piece of the track come off there. There's a hole up ahead, a little bit like a caution. I don't know, man. And there's what look like fans in the stands. Are they M&Ms? They kind of look like they're suspiciously only in M&M colors. So I think they are, but if these are here for a good race, they're gonna be disappointed, because I don't think I've lost a race yet on this save file, just in the fact that it's so hard to lose on easy mode. You have to pretty much try. There are other difficulties to this game, but they're kind of boring in that they don't make the other cars faster or anything. They just make you straight up slowed down. So it's kind of like just playing a worse version of this mode. The only way I'd consider it is doing hard mode new game instead of new game plus, because that might be interesting, but hard mode itself, not great. I have looked into new game plus a little bit, and it's not bad. Or not new game plus, just straight up new game a little bit. And it's not terrible, but again, it's the same tracks. You can only race the same tracks so often before you go insane. And I'm starting to feel it, but I'd say I got a decent month or 2. Well, no, I'd say 2 or 3, because that'll get me to the marathon. But I remember running this when it was horrible with Pokemon Ultra. And I finished my run, and my friends were at my door pretty much as I finished. I'm pretty sure I was texting them during the run. Hey guys, you're gonna have to wait a minute because I was like 15 and that's just what my friends did. They just pull up randomly. Shouldn't have to worry about that now for a multitude of reasons. I am on an internship stuck in my hometown for the next 12, not quite, pretty much 12 months, while my friends are going back at university. So, interruption free now, presuming nothing goes wrong. But this is Alien Craft, which is a fun track that I probably should explain a little bit more. It's kind of just like they have those boost pads, but all the way around. So you just want to stay on them as much as you can, and I'm a little bit shaky hands right now. But as you can see, the more you stay on them, the faster you go. If you get off them for a second, you don't lose a huge amount of speed. But if you just completely go off them, it's like disastrous. Sometimes you'll bump into carts as you're passing them because you do lap the other guys as we did earlier. Sometimes they'll drop this on you and that makes you just stop dead in your tracks. So, or not stop dead in your tracks, but it makes you lose all handling and then you go off the pads in the middle. So it can go really wrong, but almost always, like that, I split a bit late. Almost always, you're looking at something like a 155 there. That was more like a 158 because I split late. This is abstract, and you'll see something interesting there. You notice there was a hitch where it almost kind of looked like I got stuck on the height limit or something. If you look down at the bottom of the track, this is a figure 8. And the next time we go around, we're going to be going under what we just went through. So if we hit a height limit there, then presumably there's also a height limit to hit going this way. And you'll see that that speculation is completely correct in just a moment, as we will go off the boost pad and just kind of try to go as high as we can. And that will be a mess. Oh wow, we even got a booster. I want to see how crazy I can go with this. Now that I don't think I've ever done. That is really something. I just wanted to test out because I had never. You can fully just go back up on the track, huh? Fascinating. I wouldn't imagine there's any way of getting down there, and even if you did, I would imagine it would just like completely take away your not count. That's fascinating. I wonder if this lap will even count now, because I'm just back a checkpoint somehow. I would imagine it does, because I'm hitting all the same checkpoints again. But that is really like never seen before. So I'll certainly remember not to do that. That kind of took this from a not great run to yeah, pack it up kind of situation. But now we got 2 missiles chasing down carts in front of us. I certainly hope if I pass them they don't hit me. Okay, they don't. They must just lock on to the cars that are up ahead. But as you can see, I wanted to display just how bad this game was, rather than fully taking it as fast as I can, and we'll still only just be over 28 minutes. But I kind of just wanted to show how much of a joke this race is. But I finally finished last in a race, so that's at least entertaining for whoever's watching this, because I haven't done that in a very long time. I have never made that exact mistake. That really just blew it there, but we'll still come. Well, this is certainly not a indicator of where the estimate should be set, because that's something that I would never have done except to display just how bad this game is, and it lost me a full minute. Yeah, you can just kind of hit up against these. These are the other thing I was talking about at the start of the run, where if you use the rainbow M&M candy, you still hit these. Because I guess they're just like wall that go up and down rather than obstacles. Like, I don't know what those guys are, to be honest with you. There's a lot of stuff in this game that I look at and I just cannot tell you what they are because it's such low video quality that you kind of just have to wing it and just not think too hard about what you're looking at. Because if you think too hard, you might get a headache. I don't know if they're shields or... I've always thought of them as kind of like coffin thingies, but they're definitely not coffins. We a weird coffin with legs, but all this stuff has legs. I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll figure that out someday. I would love to get in touch with the people who developed this game. Maybe that's a rabbit hole I'll go down someday. To see if I can get in touch with anyone who worked on this, and if they even remember it, because it's a game that probably nobody has ever derived as much enjoyment and playtime. Like, I would hazard to say that I probably have the most playtime on this game in the world. It's possible that that's not true. But I can't see who else has been grinding full playthroughs of this. Maybe someone picked it up as a kid and it was like the only game they had on their DS. But I would hazard to guess that I'm the person with the most playtime on this game in the last 10 years. And 100% in the last 5 years, there's nobody who's played this as much as me. Which kind of sucks, because I want to expand the number of people who play this game. Like, the day when there's more names on the leaderboards, and the day when I can be dethroned and someone else can hold, like, someone can push this game 26-10, 26 flat even, would be a very happy day, because that would mean that I finally expanded the community that speedruns this game. But for now, that's Eminem's Kart Racing for the DS. 2842, two stupid mistakes. I would definitely not set an estimate over 28 minutes, because I wouldn't make either of those if I wasn't kind of trying to show off how bad this game is right now. 28 is probably a conservative estimate, because if I just don't go up into the abstract second level, then we're down below 28. I had a lot of fun recording this, and I hope we can get this going again, because I had a lot of fun last time I played this, last time I ran for this marathon, and I'm very, very excited to hopefully contribute to a great cause again while playing another terrible game that for some reason I love. Thank you so much.